Golden Opportunities is paid for by Elder Productions.
Hello, I'm Lori Steiner. Welcome to Golden Opportunities.
Today, how's your driving? We'll help you get into gear to be safer on the road. Then, kids say the darndest things. We'll share incredibly cute quotes from pint-sized pundits. Are your teeth as white as snow? We'll suggest ways to brighten your smile. Plus, we'll focus on fixing communication between physicians and homebound patients. And you got a gift card. Will it make you pay the price? We have important information that won't expire.
It's time to get geoing, so pull up a chair and join us at our kitchen table for Golden Opportunities. Buckle up. We're putting you in the driver's seat as we test drive an AARP driving lesson, which down the road could give you a break on your car insurance. Mike Colazar is here to teach us the rules of the road. Mike is the state coordinator for the AARP Ohio Drivers Safety Program. So welcome to the show about this really important program. Tell us a little bit about the program.
Certainly. The AARP Driver Safety Program is a 4-hour classroom course dealing with driving issues that affect senior citizens. All right, we go through each chapter in the book.
Here's the book I'm holding up.
To stimulate the participants to think about what they're doing while they're driving. All right, when we drive, everything seems to happen automatically. But as we mature, get older, we need to rethink things since we cannot react as quickly.
Yeah, so reaction times, though, aren't the only thing that changes over time, correct? And you cover more things in the course.
Certainly. We particularly look at a variety of changes, changes in our experiences, including reaction time, changes in the automobiles that we are driving, and changes on the road, in the roads that we drive on. By recognizing these changes, we can adapt to them. For example, with regards to our changes in experiences, when we were teenagers, we probably drove a little bit faster than we do now.
Yeah, we were fearless.
As we got older, we recognized that driving too fast wasn't safe, so we adapted and we brought our speed down. Right, now we need to be aware of things like medications and how they can impact us, and we need to accommodate for these things.
So how about changes in the cars themselves?
Well, needless to say, cars have changed, and they continue to change dramatically. When we started driving, we had to learn how to park the car. And now we have to learn how to find the button that will park the car.
Yeah, there's right. There's a lot to adapt to. So teach us a few strategies about adaptation.
Well, one of the things that we discuss in the class is scanning. Right? This means to keep your eyes moving so that we're aware of everything.
You're just kind of watching everything going on.
That's around, yes. This makes us aware of any issues and gives us time to accommodate or adapt to them. Right? We also talk about the 3-second rule. Right? Well, when we were taught to drive, we were told to keep a car length for every 10 miles.
I remember that from driver's ed.
Right. Well, now we use a 3-second rule, right, which focuses on the same issue. Right? However, it works this way. When the car in front of you passes a fixed object.
Like a light pole or something like that?
Exactly,
okay.
Yes. You should be able to count to 3 before you pass that same light pole. Okay. That would be a safe distance.
All right. So what benefits do your students really see when they've completed the course?
Well, financially, if they have an insurance company that recognizes the course, they can get a discount on the car insurance premium. Saving money is always good. Absolutely. And personally, they are always very grateful. I always say that before they leave the classroom, they will find at least one thing that they will change about the way they drive. Okay. And one thing to think about to think about things differently. And that always seems to be true. Okay. Is it very expensive to take your course? The cost is minimal. There's a $15 fee for members of AARP, and $20 for non-members. And these costs are mainly to cover the cost of the guidebook.
Yeah, which is a pretty substantial book. It's worth the money, I'm sure. So thanks for this great information.
You're very welcome.
This program is going to help you learn new skills to be a safe senior driver. And we can steer you to a class near you. The information is coming up next. My thanks to Mike Colasar for parking himself at our table and sharing these great tips. Thanks.
You're very welcome.
For more information, call AARP Ohio at 866-389-5653 or click to www.aarp.org/Ohio. Up next, out of the mouths of babes. But first, you've heard of Heinz 57, but just where did that nifty number come from? And what does that total really tell us? We'll add up our information and return with the results.
Let's all wake up to better health. Breathe it in and let it all out. Find a partner, an ally, a Metro Health doctor who will listen as long as it takes, so you can celebrate every day by living it your way. Get your physical, checkup, regular screening at Metro Health, and wake up every day to better health. Change is healthy.
In 1896, the Heinz Company was already producing more than 60 products, but Henry J. Heinz still selected to stick with a slick slogan that was synonymous with a surplus of substances for sale: 57 varieties. And sources say that Lady Luck determined those two digits. 5 was his lucky number, and 7 was his wife's.
Kids can have the most creative comments. And over his 30 years of teaching, Irv Corman heard an incredible amount of adorably amusing utterances from his elementary-age students. Lucky for us, he took good notes. And the result is a soon-to-be-published book called Antoine Was Here, 30 Years of Kids' Quotes. Irv is here today to share some of these must-hear messages. But first, we've got to talk about the title of the book. It's actually Antoine Was Here, H-E-A-R.
That's right.
So how did that happen?
Well, besides being a speech-language pathologist, I was a freelance entertainment writer, and sometimes the two collided with each other, and I was supposed to interview Bob Keeshan, Captain Kangaroo, and I told the publicist, you know, I'd interview at lunch between schools, and I gave them my school number in the morning. Well, they miscommunicated, so he called the school, Bob Keeshan, so I'm in the class, and over the loudspeaker, the whole school, Mr. Corman, could you come to the office? Captain Kangaroo's on the phone. So you can imagine. So I dismissed my class, and I went and I explained the problem, and so I interviewed him at lunch, but in the meantime, my other class came, and I wasn't there. So I came in the room, and one student had been there, and left on the chalkboard was Antoine Was Here, H-E-A-R. And so I remembered it, so, you know, it was just one of those things.
Yeah. And how did you gather all of these quotes while you were actually trying to teach?
Right. Well, I had about 5 children in a group, and I had about 4 or 5 groups in the morning, and I went to another school after lunch and did the others. And so I had my lesson plan books here, and when a student would say something funny, I would say, "Excuse me," and then I would write it down in the back.
My.
So,
lots of quotes I see there.
So after 30 years, I had 30 of these, and the first year I retired, I thought, I'll look. So I went and I took each quote, and I put them each on a index card.
Right.
And so I classified them by, you know, what'd you get for Christmas, what'd you do over the weekend, things like that. And so I just put them together. And
so let's hear some. Come on already.
You want to hear some? Well, sure. A lot of them would confuse George Washington and Abraham Lincoln because, you know, their birthdays were the same month. So they get them really mixed up. Like, who's George Washington? He was the first president of the United States. What did he do? He chopped down a cherry tree. Well, yeah, I know he did that, but when his father said, "Who chopped down this cherry tree?" Who did he say did it? He said Abe Lincoln did it. You know. Or, you know, who was Abraham Lincoln? He invented the penny.
That's a good one.
And that's just it. They were so serious, you know,
Yeah.
about it. Or
they take things very literally.
right, right. Or, you know, we're on different wavelengths. For instance, I'd say, who can tell me the capital of Ohio? Oh. You know, or I went to the ballet with my class and we saw Cinderella. And I said, oh, and what happened at the end? We clapped. You know, things like that. Or I'm going to summer school. Really? What are you taking? An eraser and a pencil. So it's like different wavelengths, but they're so serious about it, you know. And it's just, these started, I taught from 67 to 97. So some of these kids now are like 50, you know, or older. And I was reading them in 1997 from 30 years ago, and I was still laughing out loud at them.
Oh, yeah,
and,
definitely.
I just
it's
think
ageless.
Exactly. I just think they're, you know, it's funny. Especially since these kids are older now and probably have their own kids.
Yeah, they'll buy these books and go, oh, did I really say that?
Exactly, exactly. So hopefully they won't find me and say, I want part of the money you're getting for this book.
So
anyway.
While Irv Corbin was teaching his students speech and language skills, his students taught him the lesson of enjoying innocent humor. And that's a lesson we can all still learn. Thanks to Irv's book, Antoine Was Here, 30 Years of Kids Quotes. To order a copy, use the information that's coming up next.
To find out more or to order the book, visit www.loconeal.com or call 216-772-8380. Next, a winter white smile. Looking for places to go, things to do? Welcome to our community calendar. Don't wait until St. Patrick's Day to celebrate all that is Irish. Saturday, February 4th, discover the Irish in Cleveland, their history and communities at a presentation at the Western Reserve Historical Society's Cleveland History Center. The luck of the Irish will be with you as you learn about the Irish in our area and their organizations, churches, and more from the 19th century onward. And there's no blarney. For more information about the event, call them at 216-721-5722 or visit www.wrhs.org.
Seems like a magic trick. People who have missing teeth suddenly have teeth reappear. The space was there and now it's gone. And instead there's a beautiful smile. But how? Dentist Steve Marsh is here to reveal how this really not so magical magic is performed. So welcome back to the show.
Thanks so much, Lori.
So how does that happen? The teeth are gone and now you have a nice smile.
Well, that's one of the beauties of dentistry. We can do it with a number of different methods, whether it's a bridge, we can do it with partials, dentures, and implants.
Ooh, what's the difference between all of that?
Well, I thought the best way was to use some props to show you.
Yeah, it seems like it.
So if somebody's missing, for example, back teeth, oftentimes we'll do a partial denture. And I'm going to hold them up in front of me. This is sort of old school with metal, and the other are these new Flexite ones that are very flexible and very light. I'm going to give them to you just to hold for a second.
Oh, yeah.
Quite
Big
a
difference.
Quite
there,
a difference. So let's talk when somebody's missing all their teeth. So we know about upper dentures. They stay in pretty well because of suction. But a lower denture never stays in very well. You'll hear a lot of complaints. So that's where oftentimes, and I'm going to hold this model up, this is a model that shows actually 4 implants. So their 4 implants are placed in the bone in the jaw, and then the denture, and I'll show you the back side, has snaps. Oh. And the denture can then snap in, and then most people say, oh my gosh, I feel like I have my teeth again. So again, dentures and implants, and sometimes, Lori, we have single tooth implants. You mentioned that.
Right.
Many teeth, one tooth. So this is, again, a model. There's an implant that's placed in the bone that's done by a surgeon generally, or an oral surgeon or periodontist. And then there's a tooth, a crown that goes in, and I'm going to try and tilt it down. Hopefully it doesn't fall out. So there's an implant that's placed by a surgeon, and then a post, and then an implant crown that goes over the top, and that's how we're able to complete it. Oftentimes we hear on TV,
right.
Get it in
a day.
You get it in a day, but there are lots of appointments to get to that day. And then on that day, oftentimes you'll see multiple implants are placed, and then a denture is made that either screws in or snaps in. But when they say teeth in a day, it's not teeth. It's actually a denture that gets screwed into the implants.
Oh, okay.
The beauty is we're able to do it.
So you got some pictures of how this all kind of is done, right?
Yeah, and I'm going to show you patients of mine who can exhibit these different properties. So this is a patient who was missing back teeth. I mentioned a bridge. This patient still had 3 or 4 teeth of their own, and we were able to then make a bridge that's all porcelain. That's as if you've had a number of, in this case, 5 porcelain teeth splinted together, 5 porcelain crowns. It's one piece, and as long as we still have a little bit of what we call an abutment left, we're able to then place it, bond that in, and then the patient has what feels like their own teeth. And essentially, we've only corrected the top. Well, not always do we have those teeth. And this is a patient of mine who had lost 3 or 4 teeth on their lower right, viewers left. Those are implant abutments. Remember I talked about that post that goes into the bone, that's the surgery. Then this post on top, and then crowns are placed on then. Again, those are bonded on. Very similar to the first one. In the first one we used natural teeth, and here we used implants and teeth. I mentioned about dentures that snap on. This is a patient who has a beautiful upper denture that we did when she lost her uppers. She has, in this case, 3 implants. She then has the denture that I talked about that snaps in, and there's her after picture. She said, again, it feels almost like she had her own teeth again, and she suffered for a long time without that. And lastly, this is a patient who had multiple implants. He had, as you can see in the front, 3 of his own teeth left. And those are all implants with then the post put on them. Again, you can't see the actual implant, but that is the post that we then put the crowns on. The during shows it in the lab, and we should have a final case that comes up with.
Yeah, looks real.
What were you going to say? Unbelievable.
Yes, definitely.
So those are crowns that were all placed, 3 on his natural teeth and the rest on the implant. It's interesting, he was in his mid-70s, his girlfriend brought him in. She said, I want him to have a smile again. He's been fooling around with these partials, and now he said he feels like he's complete again, and she loves looking at him. So it's a winner on every basis.
Yeah. Great stories from your patients.
Thank you.
And see, there's no magic trick. It's just tried and true tricks of the dental trade. But the result is the same. A beautiful smile appears. Want Steve to work his magic, remaking your mouth? Use the information that's coming up next.
See what Dr. Stephen Marsh can do for your smile by calling 440-461-1003 or visit www.clevelandsmiles.com. Next, the link between home care and doctors. It's time to get up and go, an exercise segment on golden opportunities.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Carbon from Breakout Fitness, and today we're going to show you how to strengthen those ever-important shoulder muscles. You ready to go?
I am absolutely ready to go.
Let's do it. We have exercise bands here. This is called a front raise using our exercise band. What we're going to do is we're going to step on the center of the band. Okay, we want to again offset our feet so that way we make sure we stay nice and balanced. Maintain very good posture. All we're going to do is simply bring the handle of the band up to about shoulder height and then lower it back down to your thigh, okay? Again, we're looking for 15 to 20 repetitions on this one. Use slow and controlled movements and make sure you're breathing. How you feeling, Lori?
Oh, that's tough.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
and actually, Lori is doing a very good variation of this exercise where she's using both arms together. So you can do either individually or like Lori's doing here, you can do them both together.
Cut time in half.
That's right, fantastic. All right, everybody, 12 to 15, 2 to 3 sets. And now it's your turn to get up and go.
For your copy of the exercise booklet, send $1 for postage to Golden Opportunities, 6105 Parkland Boulevard, Suite 140, Mayfield Heights, Ohio, 44124.
When you or a loved one needs care at home, you're already worn out, and there's so many things to remember and to take care of. But there is help available that includes your health and more. Lavelle Dabney is here to explain. Lavelle is a home care liaison with Omni Park Home Care, one of the largest minority-owned home health care agencies in the Cleveland area. So welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
So I think your title kind of gives a hint at what you do, but tell us, what is a home care liaison?
Well, I'm like the middleman. I'm the person who's the intermediary between the physician and the home health care patient. So my job is to make the transition smooth for the patient, you know, make it a smooth transition from wherever they're being discharged from, whether it be an assisted living home, whether it be it could be a nursing home, the hospital often, and making that transition smooth for them.
Okay, so how do you do that?
Well, actually, I work to help patients understand their Medicare better. Actually, Medicare covers home health care 100%, straight Medicare does. And a lot of patients don't know that. So I find myself enlightening a lot of seniors, you know, to this information, because a lot of them have this benefit and they don't even know that, you know, that it's there.
Yeah, unless you're really paying attention, they probably wouldn't. So,
Right.
And it can be people who need some really skilled kind of help at home, right?
Exactly. Well, it's classified as being homebound. You have to be homebound to actually get this benefit. So that's someone it's very taxing for them to get around. A lot of them are walkers or wheelchairs, or they need assistance typically getting around.
So it'd be hard to get out to the doctor so they can get the help at home. So
exactly.
If they qualify and are eligible like that, what happens next in the process?
Okay, well, after seeing if they're eligible, we have a form I fill out. All I pretty much need is the name, the address, date of birth, and their Medicare number. I can see if they're eligible.
Okay.
Upon seeing if they're eligible, what we have is a nurse comes out and does an assessment on the patient.
Okay.
And once they do an assessment, they gather, you know, the needs of the patient. And we can cover things as far as skilled nursing and all the different therapies such as physical therapy, occupational therapy, and as well as speech therapy.
Okay.
So they get assessed for all those things.
How often can they see somebody?
Well, generally, when we're dealing with skilled nursing, you're looking at 1 to 3 visits a week, up to hour visits that'll be covered pretty much 100% through Medicare, nothing out of pocket for the patient.
Okay, so you're getting this arranged and this is all happening now, but you're not out of the picture at that point, correct?
Oh, no, not at all, not at all. I'm the point of contact. So more or less, this patient becomes my account. You know, if you look at it from a salesperson's perspective, you know, this patient is my account. So I'm there for them if they have any questions, any issues. You know, I'm the point of contact.
So what's Care Aware?
Care Aware, it's a trademarked program that we have at Omni Park Home Health Care that's unique in the industry in the way that it improves the communication process. So now you have a point of contact that we give the doctor. You have the number of the nurse, you have the number for me, you have the number for each person that is involved in this home care case. So that's really what's missing out there in the industry is the communication, you know, proper communication. A lot of times the doctor doesn't know what's going on with the patient until they see them next, and this solves that.
All right.
This addresses that.
I think it's a really critical piece. I see a lot of seniors in my law practice, and man, it can use this help. Quality home care includes care in the home and beyond. A home care liaison can handle a variety of issues that arise. To find out more, use the information that's coming up next. My thanks to Lavelle for joining us today.
Oh, thank you.
Learn more by calling the Omni Home Healthcare at 216-289-8963 or click to www.omniparkhealthcare.com. Next, a gift that doesn't keep on giving.
Hilltop Village Apartments is retirement living at its best. Residents enjoy a wide variety of activities and living services with all large first-floor apartments, private screened-in patios with beautiful park views, daily dining room meals, free laundry facilities, 24-hour staff, and so much more. Enjoy safe, comfortable independence at a very affordable price. Call today for a tour and learn how you can get your first month's rent free. Hilltop Village Apartments, retirement living at its best.
Did you miss a phone number or website? Then here's your second chance because we're going to list all of that information again. Then we'll be back with information about cashing in on your gift cards. What gift do you give when you don't know what to buy? Lots of people purchase gift cards, and these cards can provide a welcome solution to the holiday season dilemma. But there are a number of rules you have to follow to make sure you get your money's worth. Here to explain is my gifted law partner, Mike Solomon.
Hello, Lori.
So there are rules with gift cards, huh?
Right. They're both Ohio rules and federal rules dealing with, how quickly you have to use the card and when they can start charging you fees.
Okay. I know you can't hold on to the card forever, but how long do you usually have?
Well, under the Ohio rules, you have, if you get a card from a single merchant, they can't do anything to your card. They can't charge you any fees or make the card expire for the first 2 years. There are some exceptions to that rule. For example, if you get the cards in some sort of awards program or it's sold by a nonprofit, then those rules don't apply. Or if the seller is a multiple seller, non-affiliated. For example, if you get a Visa card, it's not governed by Ohio law because you can use the Visa card at anywhere, the gift card, but then it's governed by federal law. Okay, so federal law says you can't use the card for, you can't lose that card. They can't start charging you for that card for the first 5 years, and they can only charge you a fee on that card if it's been inactive for a year. Okay. But then you have Ohio law, which says you got to wait 2 years. So it gets a little complicated.
I see that.
But on the back of the card, the federal law says they got to tell you somewhere all the rules. So, so you should be able to figure out how that card is governed. Okay,
with all these rules, should we just not buy gift cards?
No, you can still buy them. They're actually a handy way to make a gift, but you just need to be aware it's not cash, so it has all sorts of expirations to it. So you need to verify that. And then if you have any questions at all about this, feel you've been taken advantage of, you can call the Ohio Attorney General's office. The number should be on the screen. It's 1-800-282-0515, and they can maybe help you out.
All right, good advice. You probably gave and maybe even received gift cards this past holiday season. Be sure you understand the terms and time limits so you'll get your full money's worth. And if you have questions, give Mike a call. The number's next.
Call Solomon, Steiner, and Peck at 1-888-236-5173 for more information or to schedule a speaker for your organization. Or log on to www.ssnplaw.com.
Thanks for joining us. Join us next week again when we'll have more great information for you. But until then, please remember to make the most of your golden opportunities.
If you'd like to join our kitchen conversation, visit our website, www.goldenopportunities.tv. Like us on Facebook. Call us at 440-742-GO-TV or email us at kitchen@goldenopportunities.tv. We'd love to hear from you.
Golden Opportunities is paid for by Elder Productions.